Hey everyone, it's Armstrong here from Adai Miniatures. It's my second day back from the holidays and I have not a clue what car I want to convert today. So I have a tub full of them in here. It says roses, it should say cars. But I just gonna close my eyes and hope for something good, because I really want to convert something nice. But again, I have no idea, so let's just randomness happen. Right, okay, open top car, yeah. Not my favorite subject to do, but I think that I can do something with that. So let's just convert this into this. A Mazda Miata Battle Beetle. Yeah? So let's get on the table and see how I did it. There we have it, back on the table. So this is what? Mazda MX-5 Miata, yeah? In reality, probably one of my favorite cars. Yeah? Just the look and the handling of it. Well, in games mostly, as I never actually driven one. Yeah, but it's a lovely looking little car. And I was just wondering what I can do. And I have these spoons and forks. And I'm just thinking, why not again some trash bash, just some pieces that this is what do you call it now? This is a dispenser for a kind of gel. Yeah, so why not give him a turbo booster in the back, a giant cannon maybe on the side, some spikes from the forks, and a carapace from the spoons. Oh, sorry, I moved it too far. Carapace from the spoons, making him look like a beetle a little bit. I have plenty of old spoons that I just, have stored in the box. And I didn't see them ever being used, so I always try to use them for, like in here I'm testing paints on them, like white undercoat, black undercoat, and this is color shifting paint. Yeah, I use spoons for that because I don't want to waste models just to test a new paint. So this is a tip for everyone. If you're just testing paints, plastic spoons are great to test them on. Come on. This plate got really dull after I use it to hot cut, I guess. Maybe it was the other one. Well, both of them are probably really dull. I'm gonna have to buy new ones or search my box for the spare ones. Come on. There it goes. And again, don't cut towards yourself. I know that I'm not doing a great job of being a role model when it comes to cutting towards yourself, but you can see that I didn't actually manage to cut my finger any of those times. But one day it's just gonna slip and I'm gonna start gushing and I'm gonna have to stop recording and pretend that it never happened. Yes, being a responsible adult really doesn't work with me. So yeah, I'm just gonna glue this inside, and there is a piece of my beard, lovely. And then just in here, yeah, there is somewhat of a flat surface, not really, because it's kind of shaped differently. So let's just massacre this paint and give it some grip over here for our rocket booster or whatever we want to call it. Yeah, this is probably a good surface for gluing. There's few contact points, and at the end we can still give some fill up with our favorite material, which is a baking soda, of course. Yeah, so let's just sort this one out. And there we have the rocket booster. Yeah, I know it looks weird, but I'm happy with how it looks. And where is the rest of this pipe? It's here, and I want to cut this off, and I'm not really... Okay, there's... I just want to be very slow with that because I don't want to lose my finger, and the thickness of it, you know, kind of suggests that I might, so yeah, better safe than sorry. Like always, I cut very straight cuts. Everyone knows that, you know, I have the straightest cuts in the world, which means completely not. And now I'm thinking about, you know, mounting this on the side of passenger, just here, and this is just gonna be a big cannon, and I don't know, maybe I'm gonna put something on the back of it, but no idea what just yet. So again, just scuff it a little bit to get better connection, and I'm gonna have to use baking soda again, as I don't trust this tiny amount of a contact space. And you know, this plastic is very glossy, so it's possible that it's gonna just crack and, you know, disconnect from everything else. So baking soda for the win, like always. Where's my big brush now? Oh, there it is. I can just dust it off. And there we go. It's nice. It have a big cannon right now. Still don't know exactly where I'm going with that. But I just, you know, I'm thinking that this car can, you know, still go into my pin-up girls style. But we will see. We will see. Maybe the spooning of it gonna be something nice. I just think, you know, that this can go like in here, and then I can put a second one, you know, like having wings going on. Just there is some idea there. I still don't know exactly what, and I don't have a clue where did I put my scissors after I left, which is just a lovely thing to do, to misplace your scissors, especially when you need them badly. Okay, let's just get a clippers and hope that I'm gonna find my scissors, you know, one day. So there we go, one cut, and then the other one, and this can go maybe like that. I don't want to cover the front window, so it's gonna need some trimming, and I would love to put it under the tinny in here, so there's a lot of work to do. First of all, let's just try to get a straight cut. No, let's think about this. If I get straight cut through the middle, it's gonna be a disastrous. Just maybe shorten it to accommodate the window, so it's gonna be about here. Alright, I just gonna grab my saw and start sawing through it. I know, it's as entertaining as watching the paint dry. Sorry about that. But maybe this gonna help with cracking, you know? It's gonna get... Oh yeah, that's almost okay. It didn't crack where I wanted it, but it didn't go the other way as well. I was, you know, being worried that it's gonna crack here, but it didn't, so I'm happy about that. And let's see now. Yes, we have some nice cover of the roof, and this is gonna be so fiddly to finish. Yeah, I can already see that. but I was watching a Gaslands UK show for a buggy, and the guy actually made in there a beetle buggy, and I got really inspired by that, and that's probably why this idea just popped into my head when this car was randomly picked by me. All right, so I can do this, and then I can do this. Yeah, all right, I'll be right back. I just need to cut a more of a circular shape in here, which is gonna be a nightmare to do, so I need a little bit more time, and I'm gonna have to fit it over just to get stuck on top of this. Yeah, so once I done it and once I glue it into place, I'll be back. And here I have it. It does look like a little bit like a matryoshka, babushka, whatever you want to call it, old lady in a in a scarf over her head. Yeah, but what I want to do is add like one more small spoon in here, and then halves of a spoon, going towards the sides, just covering the back a little bit. And of course this is gonna cover this gap that was created after I cut off a little bit of the sides and didn't measure everything properly. But of course baking soda saved my arse in here, because I was really struggling with it. So this is win, and of course more spoons gonna be sacrificed. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut them and put them, like I said, I want one to be just slightly under it like that. Yeah, and then there's gonna be pieces like just sticking to the sides like that. So I'm probably gonna have to sacrifice about 2 or 3 more spoons, but I'm gonna do that and be right back with you. Here you have the stack carapace that I was thinking about. 1, 2, 3 steps in here, and of course the baking soda is dry off, so maybe I can remove this bit to look better. And now I want to do this, split wings to go and maybe cover a little bit of the wings. Yeah, there's gonna be an issue with the cannon. I didn't think about this, I could probably mount it later on, but it's already done. Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to do some sort of covering in here to the front, or probably just maybe a little bit of shaving this off to get the window looking better. But again, I just want to show this carapace, and I'll be back once the wings are actually attached. As I was talking before, unfortunately the cannon was actually getting in the way, so I removed it and I scrape off the what do you call it now? I scrape off the baking soda from here. But now I want to attach the wings, so let's just go with the super glue in here, and just kind of measure where they're gonna go. But I want them to go from the very front of this build. Yeah, and okay, it doesn't cover the wheels properly, so let's just spread them a little bit more. Yeah. And now the other one, just maybe like that. Okay, so let's just add this in here, and I have second one in here, and these are just spoons. Yeah, so nothing really rare to find, and it's quite easy to obtain these plastic spoons. So if someone tell me that this is a hard material to get hold of, I'm gonna be hitting my head very hard against the wall. But yeah, it doesn't cover the wheels, but it looks what I was thinking about. Just I have a jet engine, I have some sort of wings that probably can spread. Yeah, and well, the cannon I gonna mount instead of the side, I gonna mount in here. I just gonna cut it under the angle so it can fit to the window better. And it's gonna be my excuse to don't do anything else with it. So a little bit more of an angle. And again, when you cut like that, please be careful, don't cut off your finger. Yeah, especially with fresh blade like I have in here. It's actually gonna be easier, yeah? The duller the blade, the easier it is to cut yourself. So if you have fresh blade, you probably ain't gonna hurt yourself. But, you know, better safe than bleeding. And the cannon just... Oh, come on, stop. There is a big blob of super glue there. Alright. So yeah, what do you think we're gonna call it? A bumblebee? Oh, alright. Just the baking soda for the safe in here. But there is a big gap in here, so I just want to fill it up. It's gonna be a couple of layers of baking soda and super glue. Just in here again, just to fill up the gaps. And I know that this window doesn't look pretty because of that, yeah? But who said that mutant creatures look pretty? Okay. Enough of joking. So we have this and... oh, okay. I have some nice armor plating, you remember that? It's from inside of Ptasie Mleczko, which is a snack from Poland. Yeah, and you know, I really enjoy it, but this plating as well, you know, is something that I really enjoy on my cars. It's a little bit different than the diamond plating, and I can add this here, or maybe even cover the front window a little bit, just to, because you know, of the shape, it gives this kind of bee-like feel to it. So yeah, right, let's just get it stuck to the front. Come on, be nice. There's not enough super glue underneath, so let's just, this should get it. Now it's too much and everything is covered in super glue. That's beauty of working with scrap materials. Come on, let's just get there. So I need a couple of seconds of holding it to get it stuck, and it was somewhat stuck, not really. And I don't know what to do with this window. I don't know where I have my mesh, especially that, you know, I clean up before leaving for Poland. So maybe I'm just gonna stick this into the window and be done with it. Let's just see how well this is gonna fit. Come on. If I just cut off the corner, I can definitely see it being something in here. Yeah. So this window gonna be covered, and you know, I'm excused from thinking about it. Oh, now it's stuck to my finger, lovely. I always do that. So yeah, this now have to dry, and I'm gonna apply a first layer of paint, probably white, because I want this to be looking somewhat like the beetle, so you know, brownish kind of colors, but more of a browny earth, leathery color scheme. So I'll be right back. So here it is, our Beetlejuice painted white. So let's just start from the base coat, and the base coat gonna be rotting flesh. And most of you would think that this isn't a great base coat for a car, and I would completely agree with you. But I was looking at some beetle pictures while I was painting it white, and like a lot of them have different colors, and I could probably use a color changing paints for this one, and they would probably do a lot of good for it. But I have only one color changing paint, and it is a green/purple, and I know that the young lad from Shadow and Sun would probably hate it, so no. Because he hates the combination of green and purple for some reason. And to be completely honest, I was looking at the Beatles and I just want to like, there was this beautiful blue ones and so on, but I decided to go for more muted brownish ones, and those ones looks muted. They are muted to the point, but when you have the carapace wet, they are actually looking like mahogany color, which I really love. How they turn out when they have wet carapace. So I think that I'm gonna be going for something like that, and that's why I'm starting with this rotten flesh, as I want to build up to the brown colors. And I know that I could probably just start from brown, but let's try something else instead of going straight away for the darkest color I can get, as I tend to do that, just go for the dark and then maybe do some little highlights with dry brushing. Today I'm going against my own grain. Oh, I just dropped the brush. That's lovely. So there we have it. I have the first coat of that color. I'm just gonna dry it off and be right back after I just apply another one. I have this nice base coat, and I have vermilion brown, not vermilion, bestial brown, dark flesh, and snakebite leather. I think that the snakebite leather is gonna straight away go away. And I'm just thinking, in between the bestial brown and vermin brown. I think that I'm gonna use vermin brown as the first layer, and then I'm gonna use the dark flesh as the last layer. And after that, I want to use a flesh wash. So let's just go with the, what do we have in here? Vermin brown. And let's try to add some colors. Yeah. I don't think that there's gonna be any of this, what do you call it now? I lost the word. The rotting flesh being seen, yeah, but it is a bright base, and not a white base, which means that these colors should take much better to it. And if there's gonna be some of it seen, it's still gonna be painted, which is a good thing. And when you look at the beetles, they actually have this kind of streaks in the carapace. Yeah, so this brush, being a little bit more stiff than than other brushes, is leaving those brush strokes, which is okay in that case. So I'm gonna be avoiding painting the things that I don't have to paint on this model, well, for now, because the engine and the plate's gonna be probably metallic in nature, so I'm gonna leave them white, and then I'm gonna just add the black base coat for them to get them ready for the metallics. Yeah, but the rest of the car I want to be in this brown beetle color. Sometimes hard to just hold everything when you just want to paint the entire thing. And here's the first layer. Of course I'm gonna dry it off, yeah, and I'll be right back after I apply a second one. It turned out to be very brown thus far, but I want it even darker, so I'm gonna take the dark flesh, and I ain't gonna be doing the entire thing, but I want to do, like, you know, areas of it, leaving edges out. I hope that this is gonna work out as I want it to work, but we'll see the effect, you know, if it works in a few minutes. You know, right now the car is still warm from drying, so the paint, you know, very translucent paint that I'm applying is drying very fast, which is a bonus for me. Yeah. But like I said, I don't want this to be completely covering, so I need to be a bit more precise in application of the paint. All right. All right, that was extremely quick. And now I want this to look very wet. Yeah, I want this to look like a beetle carapace after rain. And I remember that flesh wash was always leaving this wet quality to it. But I think that I still need to dry off this paint a little bit, so I'll be right back. So yeah, I dry it off, and now I'm just praying that adding this paint ain't gonna be a mistake, you know, and ruining entire paint job. So maybe just try it on the one wing first and then see how it's gonna turn out. Oh, okay, I can see that it is working. It's darkening everything, but you know, the section in the middle gonna be still darker than anything else. So that's exactly what I want. Yeah, it's gonna be very wet, hopefully. As you know, this isn't a extremely detailed model, and the washes are supposed to go into recesses only, not only but mainly. And we'll see how it's gonna turn out, and probably repeat that process few times. And then I hope that this is gonna work as I see it. I already kind of sort of like it, and you know, there are places where I dislike it, so and my fingers look mahogany already. Oops. That's a runaway beetle. Alright, the highlighting I was trying to do is completely gone. But I think that the color I wanted to achieve gonna be here, so Well, I can live without these highlights, without the difference in colors, I guess. I don't know what I need to paint underneath this, but just a little bit. Right, so I'll be right back after I dry it off. So as you can see, the flash wash did really leave this wet quality to the paint job, and now I have this painted black, and it still have to dry off a little bit, and I'll be right back after I just pick up the rest of the colors for it, and we're gonna finish this car in just a jiffy. Now that it is nicely dry, I can grab some metallic and empty the brush and start with a dry brushing of the big gun barrel. And since this is just a piece of plastic, it is somewhat uniform, so the fact that I scab it a little bit actually helps it. And then we have these little areas in here which need some metal, and I'm just gonna put the metallic in here, and I would be pretending that the dark spots are actually the places that he can see through. So yeah, or she, whoever is driving that car. And now I need to do a little bit of brushing in here, just to change the color. And I'm not very good at this, jet engines stuff. So I got myself a scab red. It's a nice dark red color. And I don't even gonna clean the brush for that. I want to throw it in here, inside of the turbine. And I think that this is enough. And now again, without even cleaning the brush, I'm just gonna take the blazing orange and add it here. And again, this is not my specialty, so this is gonna look weird. All right, so this part is done. Now, for more or less traditional by now rusting. Yeah, what could be rusty in here? There is not much space, but we have in here some area, in here, maybe even around the engine. So let's grab some of the two reds that I already have out. I like the dark red, so just gonna put some on my makeshift palette. And the blazing orange, I know that I said that I want to get away from it, but yeah. So, baking soda, dark red, and let's see what I can do. I don't know that it's gonna be even visible, with that color combination that we already have, but I want to do a little bit in here and a little bit in here. Alright, let's try it. And now let's just get a little bit of the orange, blazing orange one. Come on. I think that I have some just in here. To get a little bit away from the fact that it is from the look of a natural creature, and get a little bit back to the motorized carnage. Come on. So yeah, a little bit of rust here and there. Okay, that's probably enough rust for this car, as if I'm gonna do too much of the rust, it's gonna be looking like it is just entirely rusted, not a big bug as I was planning. So now I just want to do some weathering. I have, I think, bleached bone here. Yep, that's a bleached bone. And I have some browns, I think snakebite leather maybe, as it is kind of yellowy. It is much brighter than the rest of the colors I have in there, which means that I'm gonna be able to at least show this weathering. It ain't gonna be just blending into the rest of the car. So let's mod up the wheels with some baking soda and the two colors. Yeah. I think that the snakebite leather is a more dominant in this one. And just, you know, a little bit of this on the front and on the side, a little bit in here around the jet engine. And I don't want to go overboard now, just a little bit. Because if I go overboard, it's just gonna ruin the effect again. I think that this weathering done what it's supposed to do, and I don't need any more. So I'm just gonna dry it off, throw it on the spin table, and I see you right there. And here it is, a Mazda Miata Battle Beetle with extremely orange weathering, because, you know, otherwise it wouldn't be showing at all. But I'm actually very happy how wet it looks. It looked like it was covered in the gloss varnish, but it wasn't. It's just the paint, you know. I remember painting a demon once with that color, and I remember, you know, how fleshy it looked and how, you know, just badass the paint was. So yeah, there it is. It's a finished project. So if you like it, please rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, and everyone else. Yeah. And since this is the end of the video, everybody have a lovely day and take care.